Greetings, Basic Brian here. I just keep churning out videos just for the heck of it recently. Today I'm going to talk about some albums, 10 albums in my collection that are kind of maybe overblown, underdeveloped, maybe bad, or just not well received. The first one there is Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets Department. I think that's what it's called. What? Yeah, it is. Okay, anyways, TTPD. For some reason, people generally don't like this album or gave it bad reviews. It might be because people just don't like Taylor Swift at the release. And I don't know, it probably sold a lot. And it is popular with people in certain demographics. And people are going to get it anyways, but it's a polarizing album. A lot of people don't like it, or they're underwhelmed by it, or overblown, especially if you consider the anthology version. That's like 40 songs or something, maybe more. That was actually released digitally, but that's not on this. This is just the manuscript version, and you can get all of them now on the anthology since November, but people just don't really always like this record. I don't always like it. I do like it a lot though too at the same time. I can see why you wouldn't like it. I don't know what to expect though, or what should be done differently. And another thing that could be wrong with these records is just some bad execution or not enough editing. Yeah, maybe self-indulgence, but the next one is a weird one. It's one of my favorite albums actually, but it isn't always liked very much because it's from a band that was very emo core, hardcore, emo core at first, and this album has none of that on it, and now it's basically a power pop album. And it's very good. I love it. It's one of my favorites. But if you're into that early Promise Ring, you may not like that, or part of the I like both, but this is just very emergency. It just doesn't have much of that emo core in it anymore, maybe in some of the guitar parts, but there are actually ballads on it. It's different tempo songs, very pop and thoughtful songs. One of my favorite drumming records, actually, for sure. This album kind of got me into drums. Not that I'm a drummer, but it got me to pay attention to drums. But this is 1999's Very Emergency. Some people hated it at the time. And this next one is just kind of a very underwhelming record. The cover is amazing, but Ecstasy's go-to is very kind of rushed. They didn't have much to say. They didn't really want to make an album yet, and it shows. I keep thinking I'm gonna love this album, but since it's one of my favorite bands, but it's just a lot of the songs just don't have much to offer, or just kind of going through the motions, and it's just not a very good record. It ends pretty poorly. Though I like the last song, but there's just a lot of just not very good songs. There's just probably like 2 or 3 good songs on it, and maybe a couple okay, but just some things that you'd never need to hear again. And this is Ecstasy's second album, and it was rushed. It has an amazing cover that basically goes into sales psychology, but and the next album I actually do like now. It's The Who's It's Hard. I never could even get into this album when I was a teenager at all, but I do like it now. It's their last record, and it's very kind of sad, sacky, not very much The Who. I've always really liked Face Dances actually, but It's Hard is more difficult to get into, and their last record, Keith Moon is not here, but I actually do like this record now, but it's definitely not for somebody who's really into the other Who stuff. and it's their last record before a long hiatus. They made other records. They came up with a record pretty recently as well. And Rumors is not in this list. It's one of the most beloved records. But the next one is a Byrds reunion album. This one there's just too high expectations for. It has all the original members and it's kind of underwhelming. But you do have Gene Clark with some really good songs. But you don't really get the original Byrds sound at all on here. And but I actually do like this album a lot, but I can see why you would not like this album. And you would think this would be like the best Byrds album ever because it has all these great stars on it, original members. But it was just basically for Crosby, and I still like it, but it's just part of its time. It's not the Byrds anymore. It's the damage has been done, but I'm glad it's here. And we're gonna go with another Byrds album. This is not a reunion album. This is their last album. I actually like this album as well, but it is just like the last album. It doesn't have any of the Byrds left. Even Bird Maniacs still had some of the Byrd spirit, but this one they were just, I don't know. The band was just a different band totally. And it was another Rush album and a lot of covers. And I do still like this record, but it's definitely far from the Byrds' legacy and a different band, farther along. And next we'll go with this Overwrought record. The Eagles' Long Road Out of Eden, Walmart exclusive at first, just too overblown. Some really songs that you never need to hear again. There's some good songs on here as well. I think this could still work as a double album, but not what it is at a movie's length instead of 60 minutes or 64 minutes or whatever, maybe 70 minutes, but there's just a lot of bad stuff on it. Don Felder got the shaft, and it's just the production techniques really bring it to the 2000s. And I do like parts of this record, but it is kind of overproduced, overthought out probably, and just not the best. Maybe even bad. Maybe even worse tier in some people's eyes. And this album I actually do like a lot, Bob Dylan's Self-Portrait, but this just really kind of did not consider the fans' opinions and just kind of did, and Bob was just kind of doing whatever the hell he wanted, and it was very uncool, and a lot of things just scraped together and just not very well put together. But I still love this album, but it's just it's not for the audience very much, but it's still a good album. And there's just a lot of head scratchers, but I love the covers, and it's kind of questionable, the live versions just scraped on there that aren't that great, but it's a funny album. It's a good double album, but a lot of people hate it, and I can see why, and there's not a lot of thought put into it. It's just kind of whatever the hell he wanted to do. And this one, I never know how to say. Amagama, Umaguma. There's a good live album part of this. This is a double album as well, but probably too self-indulgent. I do like to listen to the Roger Waters parts of it, and it's just not really made for a commercial audience, your general reader, your general listener. And I love it because the cover and the album cover and the weirdness of it, but it's just, I can definitely see why it's not a good album, but it's still pretty cool, but it's hard to want to go back to for sure. It's very self-indulgent and silly, but the live parts are good. Some classic early Pink Floyd, played really well. Good song choices as well. From A Saucer Full of Secrets and the opening track from Piper at the Gates of Dawn. David Gilmour doing that. But yeah, and that's my last one. These are 10 albums that are kind of bad. Just, you don't want to go back to too often. But they're definitely curiosities, and there's some good stuff in these albums, but these are probably kind of bad albums in my collection. Thank you for watching. All the best. Cheers.